Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine, Stingray, Skeeter, Sweetwater Pontoons. That's just the S's you'll find in the showroom at Madisonville Marine. They've also got Hurricanes, Suncatcher Pontoons, a solid line of G3 boats. Bob, you got your G3 there, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You're happy with it?
How happy
Yes,
can you be?
thank you. Madisonville Marine. It's a simple question. Madisonville Marine, check out their showroom.
Happy's not a good
You can't even get it into a short break. All right, Madisonville Marine. Lots coming up next. We got hoops news, recruiting news, and what you said on Twitter about your confidence level about the UT athletic department surprised me. We'll show you that in a poll. ESPN's Chris Lowe did some research this week. He was kind of coaches at random. He laid out the records over the last 3 years of a number of top coaches versus teams that finish in the final AP Top 25 poll. So last 3 years, teams that finished in the top 25. Take a look at these coaches. Nick Saban, 15-4. Dabo Swinney, 11-4. You see the list go on down there. Over on the right side, you get some of these SEC guys. Brett Bielema, 5-10. Butch Jones, 3-8. Better than Sumlin, 3-9. Better than Malzahn, 3-10. Better than Franklin. Well, Franklin's no longer here, 2-8. He's in Penn State now. Kelly, 2-10 at Notre Dame. Petrino, 1-8 versus top 25. Dan Mullen, 1-9. In the SEC, 14 coaches. Nick Saban is the only SEC coach with a winning record against top 25 teams over the last 3 years. So somebody tweeted me and said, yeah, well, how's Butch doing against the top 25? He's 3-8. Not great, but better than most, or better than a lot in the SEC. The ones that Chris Lowe looked up and congratulated. Hugh Freeze, 7-7. He's over there from the SEC on the good side. So, anyway, thought that was interesting. Now, quickly, it was reported this week that Tennessee, like most schools, bought championship rings for their bowl game. It's been mocked nationally because they're the champions of life. CollegeFootballTalk.com, again, wrote about that. I don't have a problem with buying bowl rings because, Josh, it's recruiting. I mean, that's kids come in on a visit, players have the rings, everybody does it. Tennessee didn't buy the rings for the Battle at Bristol, but they did receive them. That's the one to me that would be a little silly. A regular season game and you got rings for it, but at least UT didn't buy them.
Exactly.
Josh, I'll start with you. You had a problem with the rings or no?
Not at all. And also players, recruits, if you want to go to the recruiting side, they will see that players get something. It's the school giving something to players when they don't get much more than the education, all that, the food that comes with it. But also the idea, I think the concern is, well, this will take away their emphasis on trying to win a championship or beat Florida or Alabama. There's not a player at Tennessee that because they got a bowl ring from the Music City Bowl that now doesn't care about the Florida, Georgia, Alabama game.
You're wrong. You don't care.
And here's one thing. When a kid's on a recruiting trip to another school, like say Florida, you think they've got on SEC East, they've got on jewelry. It used to be the bling. Maybe I'm old-fashioned still calling it that. At least you've got something to show that looks good. The ring looks good.
And I would love to see the list of all the bowl teams last year. I bet they all got rings.
Well, and if you're Josh Dobbs and Derek Barnett, you came to a program that was underwater. Your job, your mission was to make Tennessee relevant again. And while a lot of fans aren't happy with 9-4 and Music City Bowl, Derek Barnett and Josh Dobbs left feeling like they moved the rock, so to speak. Okay. They put the program on solid footing, and now Tennessee has a better launch point for the next 4 years.
15 seconds, yay or nay?
Do not care in the least. I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
I mean,
the only one I'd have a problem with is if you're giving out rings for regular season games, but that was provided by the Battle of Bristol.
And just don't have a lot of them show them up on eBay, okay? I mean, that's
true. That looks pretty bad when they're on eBay.
Does.
All right. It's another reason you should pay players so they don't have to go to eBay. All right. An argument for another time, which actually I don't agree with that argument. Basketball moves, recruiting news, and also I took your temperature on Twitter regarding your confidence in the athletic department moving in the right direction. I expected one thing, I got another. That's because my viewers are smart. Come on back.